All right, so we're going to talk about the battle of the music theory plugins between Scaler and Chord Composer, and which one is better, which one excels in what, and what are their strengths and weaknesses, and what can they learn from each other. Because I really do like both of these, and you wouldn't be hurting if you got both of them anyways. And the link will be in the description box if you want to check out the demos of them and all that. They're both available for Windows and Mac, so everybody can just be fun and have at it or whatnot with music theory plugins. I know people are going to come in the comment section and bitch about, music theory, you need to learn it and all that because these don't teach you music theory. And that is besides the point, if not a lie, because if I was just to play something simple in Scalar and start with this right here. This is the C major scale, and this is what I was playing anyway. So this is C major 7th right here. And if you look at the screen and at the keyboard right there that's represented on Scalar, you'll see that I am playing 4 notes. So how's that arrived to being A major 7th is because there are 4 notes being played, and then there's 3 notes that are not being played in that C major 7th. The C major 7th involves all white keys, or the C major scale for that matter. So 4 and 3 equals 7. So that is a 7th. That's how they arrive at that. So you see right here also that the notes are C, E, G, B. So it does teach you music theory bars. So anyways, all that out the way, this is a really good tool for music theory, of course. And one of the main things I like about it is that it detects chords. And of course, I'm an idiot, so I need to turn on chord detection so I can use it. So I'm going to go ahead and play the C major scale again, and then add some variance to it. Here we go. And get back down here and play another one here. And we have 4, so we're gonna rock with that. So we got 4 stuff here that we have recorded in. Just press stop, and now you're out of detection mode of what you play. So this is a really strong tool for people that are working with keyboardists that are extremely strong, and maybe they don't know what they're playing, but there might be fantastic keyboard players, and that does happen. There are many of them that do and don't even give a damn, because guess what? They play music by ear, and it is a quite okay thing to do. But now here's another thing that you can do. You can bind the MIDI notes, so you can play 1 note chords on your MIDI keyboard. I'm mad that I didn't play that correctly there, but anyways, yeah, and that's not the only thing that Scalar excels in. You also have arpeggios. You have strums, so you can play like guitar strums. And you can scale lock as well. So, I mean, you really don't need to scale lock if you're playing a C major, because you're going to be playing all white keys. But I can just go into another feature that it has right here, which has a lot of damn presets. So now that we're still in bind mode, now I'm going to go ahead and turn strumming off. And yes, you can change the way your strumming goes, slow, medium, fast. And arpeggios, you can change, if you want to quantize them or whatnot. The only problem is about arpeggios that I don't like is that there is a bit of lag. And if you're in something like that records MIDI off rip within the DAW, like Ableton, you will start to notice that they will lag the notes behind, and you will have to adjust them accordingly, or just use your quantizing or whatnot. And that could be a bit troublesome because it doesn't land on the proper beats or beats or whatnot. So, but anyways, now I have scale locking on. So if I play, so if I'm actually playing like C4, so in scale, if I turn scale locking off, you'll hear the original. So you can scale lock the original notes. That was one of the things that people bitched about in the early version of Scalar, which is like 1.0. And yeah, so it was one of those things that need to be added, and they added it. And of course, another thing is that they have different sounds. So you can use strings, and a lot of the sounds are very quality. And that's a lot of things that people like about it. Of course, again, my homie that plays the keys like a beast, which again, link in the description box to see my original Scaler video. And yeah, I went all out for that. But yeah, so yeah, it's one of those things that that Scaler excels in. And I'm gonna go ahead and drag all this stuff down here, and we're gonna talk about a few other things. So in this module B over here, you can play your variants from over here, and you know they're playing the chorus in one note because I'm in that bind mode over here. And you can also switch between different ones, so you can really get the some flexibility out of there. So you can go to all the way up to 13ths and stuff instead of just having good old fashioned triads or whatnot. So maybe I like this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and drag that over and drag that over. I can also adjust, you know, what octave they play in, and also the inversion of it. So yeah, so you can do a lot of stuff. You also can choose other chord variations, and then also voicing as well by note or whatnot. So the binding mode is really good. So you know my only big gear grinding thing about Scaler is the fact that if you do, you know, go and drag MIDI. So if you drag your MIDI over or whatnot, you do have options to change like the note duration. You know, you can do a beat, a bar, or whatever, depending on tempo or whatnot. That you start getting a little bit of ugliness in it, and I'm gonna go ahead and represent that by going ahead and getting out of bind mode. And I'm gonna go back into piano because I know people like to complain about, oh, I can't hear it. It should be in piano. So as you can see, it can be a little sterile, and that's where Scaler starts losing a little bit of his magic. But again, you know, it has a lot to offer up front when it comes to the scale binding, chord detection, and all that. Is proven that it works very well, and is one of the early tools that I adapted this year, and that I was genuinely impressed with because of its ability to function as a music theory plugin. Chord Composer is quite a different story. Now, Chord Composer, the main thing, as you can see with the interface in itself, also being vectorial, so you can actually stretch it out. If you're a blind old person like me, you can, you know, change your different keys or whatever you want to be. You know, if you want to change it to a C major, to an A major, or a major, minor, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and all that, you can do that in Scaler as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you that, so that people don't say, "Oh, well, you didn't show off Scalers, bitch." But anyways, so you can, yes, you can. You can change the different notes and whatnot, and you have all your notes represented right here. And you also can change your scales right here. As you can see, it has a healthy amount of scales as well. Also, I just want to point out again, you know, all the other scales, like when you go down to like a Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, and all those are just like major and minor variants, depending on which type of key that you pick. So, you know, they're already equally represented within the different scales that have different scale names, for those who don't know that. So I for people that are going to be in my comment section saying I don't know about music theory and whatnot, which I don't care anyways. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and pick a Dorian or whatnot. I'm going to pick a Dorian scale. And then, you know, you could choose if you want it to be like a 7th. You could choose your inversion if you want it to be a first inversion, 4th, 3rd, 5th inversion or whatnot. You could do that. And you also can choose like how many chords that you have, like undertones and all that. And then you also, and I want to make sure that you know this, which it has a huge boon, a difference over Scaler, is that you can change your humanizing options here. So you can, you know, you can have it to 0 or 1. I just go halfway on that. But yeah, you could do a lot just before you drop your MIDI in there. and you can change the type, of course, between, maybe you don't want an A2 or B2. So this is what you have. This is the potential of what you're gonna have. So maybe you don't want your your seventh scale is gonna drop in there to be that. And you can change it here in the types. And maybe you don't want it to be a fourth. Maybe you want it to be a third, second, first. We're gonna go with that because that sounds like it's gonna fit very well. And then you can choose if you want the what extras do you want, if you want to go down in particular octaves or whatnot. And you also can change the octaves down here as well. And before you roll that dice to get your random stuff, you can change the rhythm of it. So you can have it either into just like Scalar you can, but then that's when things just start to change where you can have off scales as such too. So once you start playing stuff in there, so okay, now fair enough, that might not be what you want. So that's when you just continuously change it to things that might work for you. And you'll see that it'll play off even better once you start adding different variants and stuff like that. We'll go with a half note for every half note or whatnot. You also can change quantizing, which we're going to get into a little later, but we're going to go ahead and just press the randomize. And as you can see, you can choose if you want you don't want the regular progression to happen. You can have like 1, 4, 3, 5, or you can flip it and have 2, 7, 4, and 2. You could do different things like that. Create the pattern, you jerk. And and then that's when you want to start. This is where Chord Composer will start to win over people that really like to edit stuff in. So this is kind of perfect for like you FL heads, because then you have a lot more flexibility before you drag and drop stuff in there versus like Scalar or something like that, where it might excel and you just actually playing your chords and having it record in, which is practically impossible in FL Studio unless you use a program called LoopB. But you could just change your quantizing features, and then that's where you can start to edit stuff here. Maybe you don't like the B2 right there. Maybe you don't want it to be so sterile in the way it plays. So that's when you could just start deleting stuff. You could delete, that part. Perhaps you don't want to have it sound like that. Maybe you want to change this part and then move over that B3 and then maybe move over to G9. This is where the quantizing comes in right here. So you can drag and drop the notes into different places that you want. And, maybe you want to adjust things over and, just have different variants of what you want to do here. And let me go ahead and do that. I'm just a little bit of a struggle crisis here. So you just have, just whatever you want, wherever you want at any given time. So we don't know. I don't know how this is going to sound, but I'm going to play it. And that seems more realistic to what you want to do. So if you want not to quantize that much and that close, you can do that, and maybe perhaps move this over. And then you can just do whatever, just continue to edit and stuff. Now, this is where it gets a little fly, because maybe you don't want to mess with the A or whatnot. You might want to go with the G sharp here, and you just press chord, boom, boom, boom. And as you can see, everything just rotates over, and then you get more play of what you want to do. Maybe you want to do other things like change stuff in here, and you don't want 4 notes, and you just want like 2 notes. And then you want to do, oops. Yeah, just go to 2 notes here. And then you just swap that out, 2 notes. And you can, change stuff to whatever you want. Let me get back in there. I'm gonna do like 3 notes. So we have a different variance here. Nah, I'll just keep it at, I'll keep that beat here. And let's go ahead and select this F here. Let's make something of that F. And you can just continue to go and just mess with whatever you want. You know, you don't have to have the sky's the limit is what I'm basically trying to say. Sky's the limit, you know, you could just delete and not have such a sterile progression here. So it's a different way to operate than it is from Scaler here, is what I'm saying. So you can see the strength right there, but it doesn't really stop right there. If you want to play like chorus or whatnot, you just have to turn on the chord playing. So it remembers what you had in the chord progression. So if you want to play it like that, you can. The only problem that I really have with this is recording. Like if you want to record the sequence or whatnot, I'm just gonna go ahead and clear it. It gets a little. That's when things start to get a little tricky for Chord Composer, and this is where I want them to change that. And see, as you can see, it's having a problem with actually recording stuff in there. And that they need to work on that in a future update, and that's where I hope for the best here. And if you just that didn't work out for you, of course you can change that or whatnot. Now pattern generator seems like, oh, well, what am I gonna do with that? Well, that's when you start doing other things, like you can add different cuts in your pattern. Of course, you can change the velocity of it right here. You can change the pattern right over here, and then this when you start having some really crazy stuff to change the rest, and then that's when you just create boom, and then now you start to see where you chopped up things that weren't there in the first place over here. Oops, let me get this stuff out of this clip here, and now play it. Now, if you don't want that, of course, you could just go over here, A2, and then select and go to that pattern chop. Booyah. So you can do some different variants or whatnot, and then you have your progression stacker over here where you can just go and click and then copy over, and then you can rename, whatever progression you're on or whatnot. I'm gonna name that to something else. I name that I don't know. Failfish. I didn't misspell that, but yeah, it has a lot of stuff here, and you also have, you have a couple of things if you're one of those guys that need presets or long form. I don't see why not. People wouldn't. So you have different variants. So yeah, you have different ones that you can do. That sounds like the ultimate, like ultimate house remixes that you order on 1-800 whatever. But anyways, yeah. So as you can see, that is the thing that it excels in terms of that, where you can just drag and drop stuff and then edit it in there. So it would fit into the FL Studio guys that want to do stuff like that, or if you just want to do, I don't know, MIDI packs or whatever, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, you could just play with a lot of varieties of things. You can not just have the same results. Go and I'm gonna do. It might sound a little ugly. Let's just flip through stuff. Yeah, I like that. Randomize, create pattern. Okay. I'm gonna go 8 bars. Boom. And then we're gonna do half notes. Oops. Looks like we got a little bit of too much here. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and regenerate. Let me not just go into. I mean, I'm over here just like making MIDI or whatnot. But yeah, you got a lot of control over stuff, and you could just do. Oh well, I guess it will help if it wasn't all 5s right there. So you got to be mindful of this. Oops. So yeah. You can really get the best out of this if you want to flip and change melody or whatnot on the fly. And of course, Scaler is really good at that as well. It's just in a different way. Definitely the playability of it and the fact that you have different sounds because again, Chord Composer doesn't generate sounds. But anyways, tell me which one of this you like, how you feel about them, which one would you rock with? I know people are gonna rock with Chord Composer, some people are gonna rock with Scalar, some people have to each his own. I think both of them are worth owning together, to be honest, and that's why I got both of them. Anyways, thank you guys for your time.